Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ingus and I'm from IGS Electronics, and today we're going to continue with Micromaster, Siemens Micromaster 420 drive, where we're going to run the drive in remote mode with 2-wire, 3-wire control, and also going to be using external potentiometer. If you missed or haven't seen the previous video how we set the drive up to run in a local mode, plus the commissioning and working with the parameters and all other bits and things like that video is going to be in the description below. So if you need it, please definitely check us out, and all the related videos to this video and also all the manuals that I've used and things like that you're gonna need are also gonna be in description below. And before we get started, IGS Electronics is a buyer and seller of industrial parts, so if you're looking for parts, definitely check out our eBay or website. And if you're looking to sell the parts, definitely get in touch with us via our website contact page, where you can send us your names, your parts you want to sell, and I'm guaranteeing you that we're going to come back to you within 24 hours with some form of an offer. So without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, as I was already playing with the drive quite a bit, the one thing I'm going to be doing is we're going to be doing a sort of a factory reset, but not factory reset, where it's going to remove all the reset all the parameters to the default except all my the motor data. So to do that, you go to parameter group, go to 10, select 10 to 1. And there you go for 3,900. Select that to 1 as well, and it will reset all the parameters back to default. Here we go. So now everything I've changed is been reset back to a default parameter. So I think yeah, it's a whole local run is going on and everything like that. So that's how we pretty much, if you mess around with the parameters and you don't want to edit back all the parameters from the motor for the motor and things like that, that's the way you can reset those parameters except the motor ones. And potentiometer we're going to be using today is going to be this guy. I'm going to use that in come on, zoom in. I use this guy all the time in all my videos. I like these Siemens potentiometer with 22mm cutouts. And again, if you would like this one and you want to know where to get one, I will leave the part number of this unit in description below. I don't have specific sites when I buy this, so just search in Google and you'll be able to more or less find from somewhere, depending where you want or where you like to buy. Some people got different preferences. And the reason I'm not sure I said this, it's a 10. This one here is it's a 10 kilo ohm potentiometer. And again, in a Siemens, like I did the last one in a V20, and I'm actually quite tripped up in the last one. Siemens doesn't really specify what kind of potentiometer you should be using. You just use it just says it has to be equal or above a certain number. And as you can see in here, in this drawing, it says it has to be equal or above 4.7 kilo ohms. Any potentiometer above that number will do. So that's regarding the potentiometer. And the next one I'm going to show you is how do we need to change from also going to be using the front terminals in here, and also we're going to be using a frequency from front terminals in there. And have a look at this P1000. Look how many selection points is there. It's mad. I believe that's so over-engineered. I mean, they got a hell of a CPU in this drive, and it is so over-engineered. But again, most likely some people sometimes use this. Most people never gonna go past third one, which is a fixed frequency. And yeah, it's a fixed frequency. I haven't seen a single drive in my career that will go past 3. But here we go. Here's Germans to you. So well done, Germans. And obviously to change command source for the terminal use, whether we select for digital inputs, we have to go to parameter P700. And again, we're going to be using a selection 2. So for that, all we need to do, go into P. Let's change 700 first. Oh, that's already in 2. And in 1000, change that to 2 as well. So now we are pretty much ready to go. Let me get some wiring done and we'll crack on. Okay, there, the wiring is done, and let me show how we done that. So first we're going to have a look at the potentiometer. There's a bit of a lot of wires going on, you can see. As you can see, for the potentiometer I'm actually using 4 cables, which is unusual. Usually you just need 3, but for Siemens Micromaster they've done things differently, because usually you would have the switch to switch between analog and basically between current and voltage, but this one doesn't have that kind of switch. This one requires that to be done with wiring. And to show you that as well, in here, as you can see in the drawing, it says that if you're using the voltage, you need to have 4 and a 2 joined together, and that's the way, that way it will be able to work. If by any chance you don't do the 4, it will only do half of the frequency control. It's just weird the way this is all set up, but basically this is how we done it. So for this Siemens potentiometer I've got in here, bit of a messy, so you can see the number 3 in here, which is the number 3 down here. That one's the one that goes back to the drive and connects 2 and a 4 together, and number 1 is going to number 1 point, and number 3 is going to a number 3. So it's pretty adds up to what the potentiometer is. And for the 2-wire control, it's only 2 wires, which basically we just close in the digital input 1. And if you want like another reverse and things like that, you can use the digital input 6. Not 1, it's just the forward is 5 and the reverse is a 6. But I'm using just the forward, but you can add another selector switch down there, so if you want to go forwards and backwards. But this is where, and the reason, and I'm using as well, apart from a selector switch, I'm using the E-stop. That would be for me, if you are going this route, this is a very lazy crude route. I usually use external relays to start the drive, but for this purpose here, I'm using the E-stop just in case I need to stop the drive very quickly. Rather than me trying to flip the switch, I just bang this E-stop. So if you're doing this way, please do a minimum requirement of some sort of E-stop to stop the drive. So other than that, you do that, and you're pretty much, that's how the 2-wire system works. And as you can see, if I do that, it will stop the drive. But bear in mind, if you haven't flipped the switch off, once you reset that one, he will again receive the signal go, so be aware of that. So if you're going this route, but that's very basic 2-wire control. And the next one we're going to do is a 3-wire control, and 3-wire control is actually quite complicated, so stay tuned. So there's quite a bit of data we need to change in the drive. It's not so straightforward, but the newer drives actually is pretty cool. They're already done for you, which are going to be doing which when I did the V20, they were doing in the macro groups and things like that. But this one doesn't have anything like it, so you have to do everything manual. So let me change things around, and let's get to it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the 3-wire mode. I am gonna tell you, for this drive, 3-wire mode requires some crazy ass setup, and let me show you what kind of setup it is. You gotta do some pretty cool programming of the drive. There is the wiring diagram that you can obtain from Siemens website, where Siemens has sort of done this. There is no way you can get this in a manual, and unless you're super smart in how to program the actual Micromaster, your chances to find out how to do it yourself is pretty slim. So I'll leave a link in below for this diagram and all the parameters you can see down here. All of these requires the full change, exactly how they say. And if you look down here, so when it says P701 and P703, both of them, it's like I got a line like from P701 to P703. That's what it looks like, but it's not really. It is just 701 and 703 has to be changed to BI code to 99. So, and following this diagram, you will be able to set your drive to run in 3-wire mode. The reason I am not doing that live, and I'll show you why. Let's say we want to change one parameter. Let's go for P. You have to be in the level 3 to do that as well. So if you go to the P, let's go 848. As you can see down here, I'm already it just takes ages to get to what you need to be. And if you look down there, I've selected that one to 722.2. but it was on originally the number was on 0. So if you look at how long it goes to go from one end to another, it is, it's a lot of things you can program. This Micromaster is definitely quite a smart unit. So look how and I need to get all the way down because it counts the bits in there, so from 1 till F, I think. Yes, F is the 15 translation for the bit world. So I'm not doing that live because it's just, here we go, change that one to that. If, as I said, I will leave that at the, but I'm actually going to show you how all the, which all the parameters. So the first one you will need to change is obviously your, we'll start with, quickly run it, otherwise the video drags on way too long. So I'll quickly show you how that works. So level 3 in PO3, the next one we need to do 700. Come on, let's go to 700. In 700, you need to select the terminal setting 2. In a 701, 99. In 703, 99. In the next one, when you look at it, we already looked at already. 84, 48, 848. That one's 722.2. The next one, it is. It's a P1135 where you define how fast the motor will stop. Default is actually 25 seconds, so you're definitely going to want to change that. So I selected that one to pretty much none. The next one you need to change is a P1000. Ooh, that's actually backwards. P1000, you need to change that to 23. So and then the next one is you would say in here is a PO1 and PO2. I didn't change them, so the next one you read. I'm only going to show you the ones you require to change, which is 16. 16 changed to 2. 17 changed to 2. 1017, 1016, and the last ones is a 20. Change that to 7220, and 21. 52.2. Basically there's like a full-blown bit setup now to be able to achieve this setup. So once you've done that, you will be ready to go. And the wiring is pretty much the way it works. The wiring, your 9, I mean your 8, which is your 24-volt source, goes to the stop button. From the stop button it goes back to digital input 3, which is a 7 on the board, and then it goes to the start button in here. Goes to the start button and it goes to digital input 1, so as it would need to be. And the way it works, now you can click the start button, drive is on, and you can adjust the frequency like that. So that's how 3-wire mode, and then there we go, you can stop and start. You can play with a bit more controls, but this is what you need for 3-wire control. There's more parameters in there that you can play with, but this is how you would get the 3-wire mode working on Micromaster 420. And that will be it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that helps you out to get where you want to get with this drive. In the next video we'll be looking about more ways from controlling frequency, and we're going to look at the multi-frequency modes and things like that as well. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, smash that like. If you didn't, smash that dislike. All your comments below will be absolutely welcome, or criticism and things like that will definitely help us out. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next video.